So today we have a story about Jesus casting out a demon and exorcism. And of course, back in, 1973, the movie The Exorcist came out, and it got people talking and asking a lot of questions about, do we really do exorcisms? And do we really do, does the Catholic Church really have exorcists and so on? And I think it really kind of went off point. Today when we read these, and it's always interesting to me when I'm reading a gospel about an exorcism, where you kind of see people kind of glaze over, because it's like, an exorcism, maybe those didn't really happen, or they at least don't happen today. There goes Jesus casting out a demon. I'm sure it's something metaphoric or so on, but it really doesn't relate to us today. And I've often wondered if there's our parents trying to explain that to their children on the way out the door, that it's just a story. But let me make a suggestion to you. In our daily lives, we have those things that happen to us. We may have a disagreement with a family member or a coworker, one of those edgy things that happen, or something may happen on the freeway, or even in the grocery store, or even at church, right? You have one of those encounters, and instead of letting go of it, what happens? Well, we start to kind of build a story around it, right? We start thinking about it as we're driving along or going someplace. Well, I could have said this, and I could have done that, and if I'd only said this, and this is going to happen, and if that goes on for very long, I have to tell you, you're possessed, because that event is over. And that event has just taken possession of you. That occurrence has just taken possession of you. And we write all these scripts about them and what should have happened and so on. Some of us hold on to them all day. Some people hold on to them for 5 years. Got that in our families, don't we? Or people that don't speak to us because they still have some kind of scenario around some event that happened where this should have happened or shouldn't have happened, or this happened and doesn't happen. And I will tell you, quite frankly, when you get to that point, you're possessed. You're possessed by a demon. And an exorcism is necessary because that event has taken hold of you. It's taken control of you. It's doing more than what a simple event in your life should do. And it's usually an indication of that you have focused your life on yourself rather than, as Christ tells us to focus our lives on others. Because if we're looking to love others and be concerned about others, it kind of gives us a deflection when things don't go our way, right? It kind of makes us a little bit bulletproof, because when we're busy loving them, we're not concerned about what they said or what happened. And it's easy for us to hold off those demons of the modern world. So may I suggest to you that the next time you have one of those encounters and you're kind of playing those tapes over and over again in your head and wearing a groove in your head with, well, this should have happened and that should have happened and I'm never going to speak to this is going to happen, bear in mind that you are possessed and you need to exorcise that demon.